good, my beautiful people? Hope you all are well. It is another episode of the Sportz Nutz. I'm your man, the host, Brandon. To my right side here, which is Mike is muted for some reason, got our man, Shane. He's having a little technical difficulties. We'll get him up and just running a minute. But the guy below me does not need an introduction. He is the man himself, JD. Just Dizzle or whatever Izzle. What's up, JD?
Hey, what's up? Yep. Can you hear me?
Ooh, you're muffled.
Am I good?
No, you're muffled, man. What's going on with your stuff?
I'm still muffled still.
You sound very far away, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to work on these headphones a little bit. Here, let me just knock this out apart real quick. Let me just go bang.
Yeah. Well, everybody, while JD is working out his technical difficulty kinks, I want to say this has been a great week so far. As you guys see, I am not at my house, actually. I am at my mother's house. We are here spending time with Grammy and Grandude. They are, I believe, watching, actually. They're downstairs, ironically. I'm upstairs. So it's really good to be a part of your evening. So glad you guys are going to take out an hour of your time just to hang out with the boys. Guys, we got a lot of good things coming up. So just want to make sure you do follow our Facebook and Twitter page. And also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of big things that are coming up. We have our live on location coming up, I believe, towards the end of July at Tequila's Grill in Easley, South Carolina. We will have more about them in just a minute. We also want to do a little program remote note here. Tomorrow, we're going to do a quick, 20, maybe 30-minute episode talking about the baseball game between the Giants and the Cardinals being held at the oldest baseball stadium in America that is still being used to this day. It is in Birmingham, Alabama, so be ready for that. Friday, we have our good friend Jeff Reinbold and maybe Timmy Chang from the University of Hawaii coming on. Whoop, cannot wait for that. Looking forward to seeing them. Shane, how you been doing, brother?
Man, been doing good. Got this new laptop, so having a little bit of technical difficulties right now, just with the Wi-Fi, everything setting up. But it's going great today, man. I've got through the work week halfway there. Vacation was too good, obviously, by the 800 and something emails I had. So was able to get through those and having a great week so far.
Absolutely. We're glad to see you back. JD has had a most interesting man on the earth kind of day. So we're not going to go too deep into it. But JD, how are you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good. I'm just hoping I'm not sounding muffled anymore.
You're still very muffled, yes.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, hey, we're going to eliminate the headphones. We're going to get through this really quickly. And, hey, we'll go straight camera mode because JD got a new camera for Father's Day. So hopefully y'all can hear all that. But hey, bang, bang. Let's go.
Bang, bang. Let's get it going, guys. I also want a quick reminder. We do have a new guest that is going to be coming on the 28th of June. So stay tuned for that. It is the Reinhardt University men's head baseball coach, Jonathan Burton, coming on. He has agreed to come on. Yay, I'm so excited about that. My wife actually is excited too because she is a Reinhardt College, now Reinhardt University alumni. So it's going to be pretty cool to get to talk to them. Quick little note also, Shane might not remember him, but Ashley Lalee, former Denver Bronco and Atlanta Falcon. I believe he has committed to coming on the show. So it looks like we're going to have him come on the show. I've also been in talks with Kelly Bryant of Clemson University. He has agreed to come on. So stay tuned for all the fun stuff coming on, guys. All right. Without further ado, let's get it going because I got a good one for you. It is that time again. Bleacher Report has released the top best.
Power off.
It's quite a list, if you ask me. I'm going to show you the list right now, and I want you to see what it looks like. Let me pull it up here. You guys are going to actually love this. Let's see here. Is this it? Yep. Top 50 best college football mascots. Shane, JD, I know you guys see the list. We see who number one is, the Oregon Ducks, which we know why Oregon is on there, because Oregon only has 300 different combinations for their uniforms, and they have the most notable mascot in the Fighting Duck. Of course, Oregon is always going to be number one on those things, but let's look at the list. It's got some names we know of. UGA at number 8, FSU at number 18. But guys, pinpoint in on number 15 right there. What do you see? You see my University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors on that list. That has got to be the best thing I have seen so far with University of Hawaii. I follow Hawaii everything, so obviously we're going to have Jeff Ryan Bolden and Timmy Chang coming on. JD, I want to start with you because this is a pretty cool topic to talk about. What name sticks out most to you on the list? Obviously, there are some D2 and FCS schools on that list.
The biggest one that sticks out to me, hey, I'm straight camera now. Can y'all hear me before I?
No, it's your camera.
It's the camera.
I'm still muffled?
Yeah, it's the camera. You're very muffled with the camera.
It's a brand new camera. We're going to have to figure that one out, obviously. Brandon, you cut in a little bit there, too. Hey, folks, sorry. We're learning. We're getting new stuff. We're getting to be big. But, hey, the first one that I will say, and then I'm going to go off cam and try to figure this out. The first one I'll say is I discredit this whole list. I discredit the whole list. Whoever put Stanford and the tree up at the top 5, it's gone. Like, I discredit you altogether. Like, you've lost all credibility to me putting a tree as a top 5 mascot. That's
it's a cardinal, sir.
No, well, it's a tree. They are the Stanford Cardinal, but that's still a tree. And so that is for Earth Day. All right. Saving the trees is for Earth Day. We don't need that here in college football.
All right. So while JD gets his audio fixed, we're going to switch over to Shane. Shane, I'm going to pop the list up one more time. Study it. Look at it well. What name sticks out to you the most, and which one is a surprise? Now, you and I and JD had this long actual conversation about number 31. Why don't you share with everybody what number 31 is?
Number 31 is the Dartmouth Big Green. Their mascot is actually a keg of beverages. I'll say that, but we all know what comes in kegs. They do. They are called the Big Green, but their mascot is a keg for some reason. Looking at that list, obviously, you see the big jersey back there. Big Hokie fan. Glad to see them on the list. I like a lot of the live mascots on there, though. You've got Georgia Tech with the Rumbling Wreck, Boomer Sooner. You got Ralphie. You've got Uga. You've got Mike the Tiger. You've got Chief Osceola there. Those are some of the best, mascots in college football, and they do a great job because they are live mascots, either animal or in person. One of the greatest mascots that I love to this day, and you can call me biased or something about it, but BYU, they have some of the best social media presence out there. Their mascot, the Cougar, that is an athlete. That cat is a true athlete. He does flips, cheers with the cheerleaders. push-ups whenever they score. We all know Oregon. He is a strong individual, whoever was with them from the early 2010s, because they did so many push-ups that I can't even count or want to count how many they did.
I know, right? And
Oh yeah, but
I go ahead.
well, I was going to say, other than that, the list really doesn't surprise me. We've got a lot of big name teams on there. I see there's there's room to grow. We talk about D2 schools and all that. You got Dartmouth, Ivy League school, of course, but you look at Virginia Tech there at 25, 26. You got JMU. They're D1 now, but the Dukes, they are one of the most underrated mascots in all of college ball.
Absolutely, they are. And I look at this list, and one name that sticks out to me, other than my University of Hawaii Warriors at number 15, look at number 3. It's the Army-Navy symbol. And, Army-Navy, that's one of the most historic and touted rivalries of all college football. And, I get excited getting to see Army-Navy get going. That's I guess that's one of my jams. And I also get kind of sad because that means college football is coming to an end for the year. Football to me just speaks differently. It hits me right here, and just like I'm guaranteeing you, everybody who has watched it hits you very much as the same way as it does all three of us. College football is just something special about it. Then let's look at another name here, and you hit the nail on the head on that. But number 43, UMass. Who puts a Minuteman on there and saying that's one of the best mascots? I'm sorry, but UMass, you've not really done anything to excite me yet. Now, do I think you will? Oh, absolutely. It's going to take time. Shane, what are your thoughts on seeing UMass on this list?
I like it. It's given the people a much broader kind of spectrum of things, and they took into consideration all levels of college football at that point. There are plenty of other, lower seeded schools, D2, NAIA schools that have great, mascots, and we don't give them enough love to start with. Because they are a smaller school, but we do enjoy some of the stuff. Like I went to Coker University, kind of like Reinhardt. They've moved up from a college since I went, but they were the Cobras, and I mean that mascot was a pretty cool looking mascot with the blue and the gold, everything going along with it. But we've got to see more of this, hey, let's dive deeper into it. Hey, Mixed Nuts, Sportz Nutz, tell us what your favorite mascots are out there. We want to know that.
Absolutely.
Just like we're telling you what our favorites and kind of surprises are on the list. We want to know what you guys think. There might be a school out there that we've never heard of that has probably the best mascot in this country, but we don't know it unless you guys share it with us.
That's right. Make sure to share, to subscribe, to follow, anything and everything possible to get the word out there, because we want to hear from you, the Mixed Nuts fans, because we want to know what you think about this topic. Obviously, we're still having a little trouble with JD. He will be on when he can. But let's go on and go on to our next topic, because, like I said, we can talk about this a lot. You don't see a lot of love given to mascots, and it's pretty exciting when they do. Now, Shane, per USA Today, the top 10 loudest stadiums has been released. Big surprise on there? No. I'm going to show you all the list right now. Study it, love it, list it. All right, there it is. As you see, 1 through 10. The number one team that we obviously knew about on there was LSU, because they've always had one of the loudest stadiums in all of college football. Let's go down the list. What sticks out to me is what stadium is not on there. South Carolina's stadium. Now, I've never been there, but I've heard it's one of the loudest, but I guess not. So, Shane, out of the top 10, do you agree with the USA Today ranking these stadiums, or should they have added another one or replaced some? What do you say, Shane?
I see a lot of great college football environments when I see that list. USA Today, I do not see them as a true college football follower because this list is not correct, in my opinion. You have some of the greater ones up there, like Tiger Stadium, Autzen with its size. They come out, they show out, but we're missing some of the biggest college football stadiums that we have across the country at this point. We look at how the performance polls react and all, but we don't see the Big House, we don't see the Coliseum. We don't see anything in South Bend. We see those, as much love as those schools get in the performance rankings, you'd think that they would be there in stadium atmospheres and loudest at that, but they're not. The real college football fan in me, why is Washington even on there? Other than the third quarter, the fourth quarter. Yeah, but other than the third quarter and fourth quarter at Camp Randall with jump around, I don't see much there. Call me biased, but Blacksburg isn't even on the list. They have multiple media outlets.
Introductions
consider,
too.
Yeah, I mean, you consider multiple media outlets call Enter Sandman, 2001 from South Carolina, running down the hill at Clemson, the banner at the Big House, hitting the Play Like a Champion Today sign at Notre Dame. They consider these some of the best college football entrances, but yet they're not on the loudest stadiums. I think that's the biggest difference that we see from a USA Today poll, from an ESPN or a sports outlet. That's a big thing that I think where the list is kind of skewed, in my opinion. But it's we got to have real college football fans out here. I've been to multiple stadiums that a couple of them are on this list, but they did not get it right one bit, in my opinion.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. One stadium that I don't see and I agree with you on there, University of Michigan. They're the biggest stadium in all of college sports. They host over 110,000 people, if not more. Come on, you can't tell me they're not one of the loudest places to go. Hello, it's Michigan. We have some Michigan fans that will chime in and say that's one of the better stadiums. And then let's look at the list again here. Okay, now JD actually posed this question once: is why do they call Penn State Beaver Stadium? That's the $1 million question right there. But you know what though? They actually have some pretty cool instances there.
I know.
Why do they call it?
Because it's in Beavertown, Pennsylvania.
Ah, well, that kind of makes sense. That makes sense then. But then look at let's look at the next one here. Texas A&M. Yes, they're home of the quote 12th man. But have they really been the loudest lately? I don't think so. But you also said so yourself, Shane, that why is Washington on there? I can tell you why they're on there. Washington is they're known for setting up earthquakes on their Richter scale when it gets loud. Everybody remembers, beast mode game in Seattle when they got so loud and Marshawn Lynch ran for that touchdotion. So they do set off a lot of them. It is, yes, it is. That is true. At one point that they were playing at I don't even know what they call it now, but that's where the Seahawks were playing. They played there because they were renovating the stadium and building it. So I'm going to give you a grade on this one. I'm going to give it about a 5 out of 10 because I agree with you. There are other stadiums on this list that are not on this list and that should be, one stadium in particular I think is actually pretty loud, and they are my rival, Boise State. Boise State has a blue turf that helps contribute to how great of a stadium is, but they get really loud for being up in the mountains. I mean, that's pretty impressive. But then let's see here. Do you see USC on there? No, I don't see USC on there. I don't even see UCLA on there, and they get pretty loud. And what seems, I don't even see Georgia on there. Or, I mean, do you agree on that one, Shane? Like, do you think, what other schools do you think should be on this list?
Man, I think this list was kind of comprised, and me and my boss man were talking today, about it, and we came up with this. The list that the USA Today put together was based off of big name schools on big name games, because we all know that no matter what type of game it is, if it's a rivalry game, if it's a night game, if it's a Thursday night game, any kind of primetime game against a rival is going to bring better attendance, better audience. More than likely you're going to be on some sort of ESPN network at that point. But those were kind of the instances that we thought that this list was comprised of, because you look at Alabama and Tennessee at Neyland a couple of years ago when they beat them. That was a great environment. This list was comprised of the past 2 to 3 years and great college football games. I just shared a thing on Twitter earlier. Virginia Tech, they're itching to come back, but Reese Davis, and then we're talking about this, that they have and had one of the best college atmospheres across the sport. You talk about the Richter scale. Virginia Tech is registered on the Richter scale during Enter Sandman. The old saying, if Williams-Brice is not a rockin', don't come a knockin'. I have seen the upper deck at that stadium sway and bounce back and forth because of the amount of fans, and as loud and I say obnoxious for lack of a better term, but that's how it gets. These places, they did not encompass in this list, kind of threw me off, and I thought, just as that was saying, just they based it on the past 2-3 years. That's about it.
Absolutely, and I get excited about it. And when I see some of these names on this list, I question it. Obviously, I want them to enhance why they chose what they chose, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now I'm gonna give you this. Post this picture, okay? This was a question that was posed by ESPN. It was who would be better in basketball and the NBA Finals, and who would win it. Okay, and I want you to look at this picture, Shane. Tell me what you think. Who would be better? Would it be the all-time Boston Celtics, the all-time Lakers, which includes LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Magic, and Shaq, or the all-time Golden State Warriors? Who do you think on these three lists would win would win the NBA Finals today? I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to tell you who it is, because I'm biased on this one. It's not going to be the Golden State Warriors. Yes, you have the Splash Brothers. I'm not going to go by the Lakers, even though you have Magic and Kobe and Shaq on there. No, I'm going to go by the Celtics. I say the Celtics actually win. In a competition with these three, the Celtics win the championship. What do you think, Shane?
Man, I tell you, with what you're saying and what you gave out there to start five, when you first mentioned this topic, I was kind of, iffy. What kind of rules are we playing by? Are we doing just starting five? Are we doing starting five and a bench? Are we doing all time as far as no matter when they played? Are we repeating players? Are we even looking at how long they stayed with the team to consider them an all-time of that team. So that's what kind of got me. The same kind of starting lineups I had a little bit different when I was going through it, kind of researching. Golden State, I would have had Steph, Clay. I wouldn't have KD or Draymond. I wouldn't even have Draymond on my 3-man bench. I had Steph, Clay, Rick Barry. Everybody forgets, him.
I remember Rick Barry.
Yeah, Nate Thurman. Nate Thurman was one of the best power forwards of his time.
There's a name you haven't heard
Still
forever.
Still leads Golden State in rebounds. So you look at that, and then you have, of course, Wilt there. The Lakers. Still. Yeah, I had Magic, Kobe. I'll go ahead and give them LeBron, Kareem, and Shaq. So basically the same starting five. On the Celtics, I had Bob Cousy, Havlicek, Bird, Pierce, and Russell as my starters.
What about Ray Allen?
Didn't even make my 3-man bench. My 3-man bench was Mikael Garnett and finally Robert Parrish.
Wow.
So and like I said with that, it all depends. If we're just looking at the starters, like you said, we're going to go ahead and throw the Warriors out. Just bye. We're not going to deal with them anymore. So it comes down to a Lakers Celtics thing. We're looking at 18 versus 17 from just a couple nights ago. But in that sense, there's still one more question I got. Are we playing in the pre 90s era, or are we playing in the today's 90s and today's era?
I would probably try to put it in different ways. Let's do both. Let's do one in the pre 90s era, and then in today's game. Put it in that perspective. Let's start off with the pre 90s era. When everything was like the MJ time. Say it goes up to 2005 from the 70s to 2005 range. That's the first one. Who would win that one? And then from 2006 to 2024, who would win that?
Boston wins the pre-2005, no doubt. They were some dogs back then. They 10 championships. You can't get away from that.
You don't see that.
They were great. But, in the same sense, today's times, if it's Celtics and Lakers, I'm going Lakers. But then that makes an argument for Celtics Warriors would be a better game in today's time, even with the talent that you have spread around between the two teams. But in that same sense, you talk today's game, LeBron's getting every call, so it's going to be the Lakers.
Okay, I get that one. Going for the the pre-2005. I'm going to probably go with the Lakers on that one, okay? Just because, there's so much talent. It has always been with the Lakers and the Celtics. If I'm going 2006 to now, that's a coin toss, actually, between the Celtics and the Warriors, like you said, because of, the scoring abilities that the Warriors have. Now, I mean, you have Steph Curry, who is arguably one of, if not the best, 3-point shooter to ever walk the face of the earth, and that includes Ray Allen. And guys, don't get it wrong. I'm a Ray Allen guy. I was a big fan of Ray Allen. I loved when he played for Milwaukee. I loved when he played for Miami. I loved when he played for Boston. Ray Allen was a different kind of player. He is, that wonderful term that everybody hears is a generational player. So I would definitely, if I had to choose. So how about this? We'll do this right here, Tim. We'll ask our fans who are watching to chime in. We're going to put the pre-2005 LA Lakers versus the 2006 to current 2024 Warriors. Who wins that game? Shane?
That one's going to be close. it depends on your starting five or the starting five I mentioned. that always depends because
it's a coin toss, you know.
Well, the starting five I mentioned, you've got a lot of older players that were good at their positions. The starting lineup that you had for the Warriors, it had KD and Draymond on there. Better scorers, better multiple position players. So in today's game, yes, with your starting five, I believe so. With my starting five, Lakers all day.
Okay. All right, fans, chime in on the stream. You know, we want to hear your thoughts. Who wins the matchup? I'm going to show you the picture again. There's the picture. Out of these three, and then what we have talked about, who wins the NBA championship between these three matchups? Please share, chime in, whatever you can. We want to hear it. I'm going to go ahead and I want to share another topic. We're having a issue, obviously, with JD's camera. Pick it up. He will come up when he's able to. If he's able to, I understand it's frustrating. But I'm going to share this picture with you, Shane. And I want all of our fans to look at it. It says schools that have hosted college game day in both football and basketball. There's a lot of good names on this list. Shane, who stands out to you the most that you see on this list?
The two that stand out most to me, which you call me biased or whatnot, but the only two on this list that have hosted a college game day, not only in women's basketball, but men's basketball and college football, is South Carolina and Virginia Tech. They stick out to me because they hosted all three. You know, it's rare if college game day comes to your campus for a women's college basketball game in the first inning.
Yes, that's right. It is.
Those two are the only ones to host game day for a women's basketball game. So that those two stick out to me in that sense. You know, we see a bunch of names on that list that at some point or another they've been good. So we're looking at them like, okay, these are big schools, but you look down, Vandy and Boston College also stick out to me. Not known for great in either sport, but yet they've hosted both. So tell me how that is.
That's a strange thing too. We know what Vanderbilt is, and here's the list again. We know what Vanderbilt is. They're bottom feeders. They've always been bottom feeders. You know, and I have discovered this stat because Hawaii actually has a home and home matchups with Vanderbilt, and it's every even year they do good, but every odd year they do bad, and it has lived up to its name again. Last year, even year, they were terrible. Year before that, last year was an odd year. The year before that, even year, they won 9 games. That's interesting. The year before that, they were terrible again. So I mean, it's an odd year, even year kind of thing. So if history holds true, you know, it's an even year this year. Could there be a bowl team? We don't know. It's weird how that goes. And then I've also heard this, and I want to know if you think this is true, Shane. I've heard this curse that schools have when they have college game day. Come on, something happens to a big name player, or the team just doesn't perform to its ability. James Madison was an example of that. People were calling left and right for them to host. They finally got a host on it, and what do? They get blown out in the game. So, I mean, let's look at this here again. All right, Memphis. Who would have thought you would see Memphis football? When was the last time? When do you think the last time was Memphis was good? Like, not okay, but like really good in football? Because I'm drawing a blank.
I forget what year, but back they had a 6'7" quarterback named Paxton Lynch that was drafted by the Broncos, and they went I think 12-2 or 12-3 that year. So I mean, or 10-2, 10-3. I think they were that good that year, and I think that is close to the year that they were kind of doing real well in the Final Four and all, and they kind of fell off. Now they've got Penny there, and kind of making some noise, but. I don't, other than that year, I don't see much out of Memphis. Just like Indiana, we know they're good in basketball. Uh, Penix Jr., your Falcons, that's where he started was IU. So
Yep.
they had a decent team for a stint. Just like every other team, they get 6-0 and they face a big school, and then they finally realize what the competition really is, and then they kind of fell off from there. So I see those kind of schools, but like I said, that Vandy, Boston College, they've never really either been up there at either level. So those bumfuzzle me.
Oh, I know. It's so weird to see that on there. I'm eager to see, just like you. I know you are. I know our man JD's. In fact, I know everybody watching this stream, and my wife, including who's in the room right up on the bed beside me. She's going to tell you we're all ready for college football to start. We're ready to see how it goes. I itch when I see college football anything. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best feeling in the world. Before we go any further, we have to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Tequila's Grill in Easley, South Carolina. If you want authentic, affordable, and delicious Mexican cuisine, make sure to check them out. Follow them on Facebook. Stop on by. Give them a call today, 864-307-8028. They are looking forward for you to come and check them out. And when we mean it, it is some of the best food you will ever have. It is some of the best and most affordable food ever. Again, check them out. Tequila's Grill in Easley, South Carolina. Just a quick reminder, we are going to be doing our live on location with them, our very first one very soon. Please make sure to follow our man Shane on Twitter at Hoops Sports. Follow the Sportz Nutz on Twitter, on Facebook. Follow me, Keeler Brandon, on Twitter and Facebook. Follow JD, our man JD, who's unfortunately having some issues with his camera. Follow him at JDY06. Please follow, share, subscribe, everything, because we're going to have some pretty important information that's going to come out, and we are giving away some merchandise. Our man Eric, I believe his name is Eric O'Brien, has also already won a shirt that's coming to you soon, my friend. Get ready for it. But we're going to have a prize pack at Tequila's for you guys, so you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. So, while we're hoping to get JD, because he's actually trying to get things worked out right now, while we are waiting on this, I'm going to show Shane the picture. He kind of knows who it is, but I want you fans to chime in on it, because the reason why this picture is being shown, ESPN released the top 25 coolest helmets. First off, the picture that I'm about to show you, I want you guys to tell us in the stream without Googling it which school it is. Don't go too deep into it. Just answer yes or no if you know who it is, and then we'll go from there. Without further ado, here is that picture, okay? Now, Shane, do you know the picture? All right. So it looks like we have some comments in there, and let's see. Oh, it's just this. All right. So without further ado, Shane, tell the lovely. Oh, Matt just got it right. Springs. You got it right. All right, Shane. What is this school?
The Hilltoppers. And I'm going to tell you, as a disclaimer, this school is also the first school to ever debut a all-chrome helmet.
Oh, I didn't know that. So people are asking probably, why am I showing that? All right, and why are they cool? Because it's Western Kentucky. You don't have very much little things. All right, look at the mascots again, okay? Every emblem that you see on their helmet represents a position on the team. Like you have your center, you have your lineman, you have your tight end, wide receivers, quarterback, running back, everything. That's why they did it on there. That's pretty ingenious, actually. So on that list, the top 5 do have the coolest helmets. Hawaii is on that list as well at number 25, but number 1 is debatable. And I'm going to show you the number 1. And Shane actually had trouble with this, trying to find it, but I have it. You ready for it? Here's the number 1, y'all. And as you can see, Shane, who is the school?
Baylor University. Sick 'em.
That's right. That's right. And as you see, right there on the sleeve, it says Sick 'em. This is Baylor's brand new. You have an all-white uniform they're going to share as well. I'm not going to post that picture just because it's a lot to share with them. But that's Baylor University. That springs it on there again. Baylor is number 1. However, I'm going to show you another number 1. And this one is where Shane gets kind of debatable about it. Don't tell anybody who it is, Shane. I want to see if everybody in the stream knows who this is before Shane announces who it is. Stare at it. Look at it. All right, you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shane, who is that school? I think you might have froze. There he is. Shane, who is that school? And let me know why you say it's debatable. He has frozen. He will come back in a second, so we'll come back to that in a second. Before that, Springs just hit the nail on the head. Yes, it is TCU, Texas Christian University. They are number 1. Don't know how they're number 1. I got to also throw in my University of Hawaii. This is the brand new helmet on this side of Hawaii. As you see, it has the warrior marks around. It has the state of Hawaii right there. Shane, can you hear me? Oh, there he is. All right, can you hear me? He might not be able to hear us. All right. Well,
okay. I think I'm back. Yeah,
you're back.
Yeah. So something happened. Sorry about the connection issue.
All right, Shane. Why is this debatable for you?
Okay, so this is TCU's. This is one of their first Blood Frog specialty uniforms that they came out with. This was great, but man, have you seen the ones from last year that they wore?
Oh, the chrome ones?
No, the Blood Frog ones that they wore. And funny enough, they wore them against your number 1 team, Baylor University, last year. It's a darker helmet, black. It's kind of got the frog skin kind of in, with the gray outline in it, but it's got a red outline of the frog head and everything.
Like that?
Yes, sir. That's the one.
That
Yes,
looks
sir.
pretty
That
hot.
is the
I like
one.
that. I like that.
Yes. Yes. So that's where my debate is on it. Like you said, Oregon, though, one of my honorable mentions, I'm not going to say it's one of my top 5 helmet classes of all time, but one of my honorable mentions is going to be the Once a Duck uniforms, where they had the, they dressed just like, what do they call them? It's Donald Duck, actually, is what the mascot's name is Donald Duck.
Yes.
The Fighting Ducks. But they dress just like him. That orange face mask with the white helmet with that green O that pops off. That's one of my most favorite college uniforms of all time. So I had to put that as an honorable mention on my helmet status.
There you go.
I look at any military appreciation helmet whenever they add the American flag or they do the camo. We saw Virginia Tech do it one year. We see North Carolina, App State. Almost every school now has a military appreciation helmet or uniform that they wear. So I enjoy those, especially with a lot of family members that have served and everything else. Hey, have you seen App State's Mac Black, old school mountaineer with the corncob pipe?
Yes, that is. Why was that not on the list? I don't know. That was one of. That was actually a pretty. I mean, that was a sick logo. I loved. Oh, I said I'm gonna let you know. I'm a sucker for all black uniforms. We had it at Raw High School. I loved wearing my all black. And I told you about this earlier, Shane. There's something about all like a blackout with uniforms and you look out there and have all your fans in black clothing. There's just something about it. And then we've also talked about the whiteouts. Penn State has one of the coolest whiteout themed games. They do it on a night, like a night game, and they've also up until the last couple of years, they do it when it's snowing, and that is. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I played in a snow game several times. It's fun. When you have like 4 to 6 inches of snow on the ground and it's coming down like hard and heavy and you're wearing the all whites, the other team, they cannot sit there and say they see you. They can't see you. It's almost darn near impossible. I love it. Shane, are you a sucker for all black uniforms?
Man, the All Blacks, I like the All Blacks. I am a true believer in the whiteout. Like I told you before, when I was coming up through high school ball with our coach Steve Tannehill, shout out through Chesterfield. We had an incredible run. Went all the way to the state championship, lost by 1 point. But the whiteouts are kind of where it gets me, and what gets me even more is when these teams do whiteouts at home.
Yes.
We saw my number 2 helmet design of all time in 2011, I believe it was. The Maryland Terrapins did the whole terrapin shell with the Maryland state flag coming down the center, all white game at home. Man, that was lovely. I enjoyed that. And while we're on it, I'm going to bring you guys to my number 1. Virginia Tech. I mentioned the military appreciation and everything else with Virginia Tech, but in 2015 they did a helmet with the pylons of values that the school shares. They have eight pylons there that stand for brotherhood, honor, leadership, sacrifice, service, loyalty, duty, and ut prosim, which means that I may serve. So those are kind of the pillars of values that Virginia Tech has. They came out with the Hokie Stone. It's called the Hokie Stone. It's actually a limestone that's only quarried there in that region. So that's why they call it a Hokie Stone. The campus is made out of all of it. Stadiums, buildings, dorms, you name it, they made it. But they did the pillars of success on one side of the helmet with the full Hokie Stone. And it was during a military appreciation. When you talk about the pylons of success and values with Virginia Tech, it lists over 400 members that were Virginia Tech alumni of servicemen and women that have been killed in duty. And then it also lists all Virginia Tech alums in the memorial ring that have received a Medal of Honor. With them having the Corps cadets there, it's a big thing. They line up on the drill field. It's a sight to see. We talked about all these atmospheres. That's not a football atmosphere, but it is one site that you would love to go see, just as well as going to Arlington Memorial and seeing the change of the guard there. It's just something special, in my opinion, and that's why it brought me to number 1.
So my number 1, and I kind of tag along with this on you with the coat of arms kind of thing on that one, Shane, is when Army and Navy play each other. They have They have some of the best helmets I have ever seen. I love looking at their helmets. I love seeing their uniforms. Army Navy is just something special. about it, and my stepdad just chimed in and said that's one of the best things he gets to see. But it really is just something about Army Navy playing. The helmets. I think they're elite. I love it. And I don't know if you guys remember last year's. It's going to be hard this year for Army and Navy to top, Under Armour to top off what they did this past year's uniforms. They were they were beautiful. And, I cannot wait to see what this year's Army Navy game looks like. So, as you see, JD has been coming in and he's having some issues with his camera. Understandable. But, Shane, I'm going to show you a picture. And everybody on the stream wants you to look at this picture too. Study it well. The reason why we're bringing it out is because the starting price, just the base price, that's literally just your doors, is $110. It goes all the way up to $597,000. Why am I bringing this up? Just take a look and tell me what you think. What does this car look like to you, Shane?
To me, it looks like a overpriced Tesla.
That's right. It does look like an overpriced Tesla. Folks, look at the name on the front. It is, in fact, a DeLorean. DeLoreans have come back out with a new and improved car. For those who don't remember, DeLoreans, Back to the Future, they were trashy cars. They were overpriced trash is what they were. They were a bunch of parts put together in hopes that it worked and looked fancy, fancy, and pretty. You don't see very many of them on the road in general. They are coming out with this DeLorean model starting in August. DeLorean is actually going to put out 3 models of the cars, okay? 3. They will range from the $500,000 to $1.5 million. Obviously, I don't have that kind of money, and I guarantee you many of us don't have that kind of money. But Shane, I'm going to ask you, and don't stick too long on this because we're coming close on time, but would you A, buy the product because it is a DeLorean, or B, because you like that model, or would you not buy it because A, it's a DeLorean and the price? What would you do?
Me, I'm frugal. I've got 3 cars sitting out here that I didn't pay over $2,000 for. So that price tag is not for me. I've got a couple of dream cars that I would say I'd spend that much money on. Like I told you before we got on here tonight, if it's not stainless steel, it's not a DeLorean in my opinion. We've already got the Cybertruck out there that's stainless steel. I can only imagine that this is going to be an electric EV car of some sort as well, because they were on the cutting edge of technology back when they made the original. So that's what I think of it. I'm not going to waste my money, and I say waste my money
No.
because that's a lot of money. That's more money than I can sniff at right now. So.
Oh, absolutely, y'all. I want fans to chime in because we only have about 3 minutes left. Chime in real quick on the stream. Would you be willing to spend $500,000 on a DeLorean? Because knowing what DeLoreans were, they were not the best cars. I understand they're rebranding themselves, trying to come back bigger and better. And I talked about this earlier with family friends of ours. We took our daughters to see their godparents today. There is talks that Back to the Future 4 is coming out with Tom Welling as the Marty McFly, and they have mentioned having this new DeLorean in it. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Am I going to drop $500,000? No. I know quite a few houses actually down the road here who I'd rather spend that kind of money on. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But, I'm going to give a quick programming note to you guys here. Just want to remind you also, again, tomorrow, We're going to do like a 20 to 30-minute show on the baseball game that is being held between the Giants and the Cardinals at America's oldest living active major baseball park. And they are doing it in remembrance of the Negro Leagues. In case you guys didn't hear, the Negro League stats have been passed into Major League Baseball stats about darn time. They deserve every ounce of it. You know, you had some excellent players back then. I hate that it has taken so long, but I'm clapping. Y'all deserve it. Because baseball is baseball no matter how you look. At the end of the day, everybody has that little white baseball. They all did a good job. So well deserved on that one. Then also want to throw in that we do have a Friday episode. This will be the last episode. I'm broadcasting live from my mother's house. We go back on Saturday. Can't wait to see you guys there. Don't forget, our man Shane and JD will have episode, I believe it's 3 or 4. Is it what up? Is it 3 or 4, Shane?
4.
It'll be episode 4. All right, so make sure you check them out this Saturday. JD and Shane will have some good takes. I promise you guys, it's worth watching. I love watching my guys talk. They bring some of the best content around. Next Tuesday, the 25th of June. Remember, our special guest, Reinhardt University head baseball coach, Jonathan Burton, will be joining the show to talk some baseball. Not just baseball, but NAIA World Series and College World Series talk. We are in the mix of it. Thank goodness for that. Just make sure you guys watch. Go ahead and start formulating your questions to interact with the coach. He is looking forward to being on the show and answering some of your questions. Just also want to remember, June 28th, we will have defensive line coach Jeff Ryanbold, maybe Timmy Chang on the both of the University of Hawaii on the show. So please make sure to stay tuned for that one. Guys, this has been a fun show. I know it's not been the same because our man JD's having some errors with technical issues. It's okay. It happens. We all have issues. But guys, let me ask you a question. Where else do you find talk about college football stadiums, mascots, just a whole bunch of college football? Because remember, it's the lull before the storm. And storm meaning football is literally – go ahead.
I can tell you where they can find it. Right here.
Right.
The Sportz
here. That's
Nutz.
Right. The Sportz Nutz is where we have – and guys, listen, do you hear it? Football's knocking on the door. It's coming. Be ready. We are going to be working on getting some new Sportz Nutz t-shirts. Guys, you're going to want to see these because I've already created one. You're going to like them. We're also going to be getting some Sportz Nutz tumblers out there. Guys, my brother-in-law Seth makes the logos. He's going to be making some more logos, so we're going to have more stuff coming out. I'm talking keychains. I'm talking window decals. I'm talking stickers. I'm talking shirts, polos, hats. Shane's buddy's working on jerseys even. Come on, we got a lot of stuff going on. We're excited. Just remember, our live on location at our sponsor, Tequila's Grill and Easley, is coming up. So stay tuned for that. Please make sure to follow our Facebook page. Guys, you've done a tremendous job getting us to 150. We didn't match the goal, so nobody won the shirt, but we are that close. Our goal by July 31st is 200, so we are 50 away. Let's get our Twitter page. We are trying to get the number of followers up to 85. We are only 25 away. Subscribers to our YouTube channel, as we want to get to 100 July 31st. Let's get Mixed Nuts. We could do this, and we can do this with your help. We know you guys are there. We know you have buddies who want to watch some sports. Hey, we are here for you. Make sure you follow our Twitter, Facebook handle. It is at the Sportz Nutz. Our YouTube channel is at the Sportz Nutz 176. Follow me on Twitter at Keeler Brandon, Facebook Brandon Keeler, and all the social media platforms for the Sportz Nutz. Shane, give everybody your socials, sir.
As always, find me on Facebook, Shane Owen. Find me on Instagram, s.owen1240. Had a little bit of technical difficulties tonight, but we will be broadcasting live from there here in the next couple of episodes, couple weeks, hopefully. Y'all, interact with me. Check me out. Snapchat, Shane O'Mac 1240. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days. Poop Sports. Y'all check us out. JD, I know that he would love to be here and talk. I know he's got all kinds of different outtakes and stuff that would go along great with what we have. But y'all make sure you check him out on his socials, JD Wyatt 06 across X and all that. Give us y'all's feedback. We want to hear from you guys. The more we hear from you guys, like I've said before, the more we hear, the more we can bring you. And we want to bring you everything that you guys want.
That's right. I'm going to go ahead and make the announcement now. I'm going to have a new segment coming this Saturday. This is going to be for Saturdays during the fall and wintertime for college football. Our man, JD and Shane, most likely are going to be broadcasting live from University of South Carolina games. I might even get Shane to go to a VTech game. Get the Hokies on here, folks. If you know any Hokies players, former or current, get them on now. We want them here. Let's get it, Shane.
Everybody's got to come up to Blacksburg at least one time.
That's right. Hey, and if Shane's going to a VTech game, it might be Georgia Tech versus Virginia Tech, October 26th. If that's the case, I'm going. That man right there is going. Hopefully JD's going. We might go, and we might do some broadcasting live from the one and only. Where is it, Shane?
Hey, Blacksburg, VA, the heart and soul of God's country.
That's right. Let's get it. Hey, we cannot wait for you guys to see what more is coming with us. Like I said, my guys, they're gonna be doing a Saturday morning kind of scramble with college football. So be ready for it. If they can't broadcast live for the game, they're going to broadcast live here. They're going to talk about the games. They're going to have a rundown of every college game you could ever imagine. So be ready. We are ready for you. We love you. With that, for everything tonight, I'm Brandon. Our man JD, J Dizzle, whatever Izzle. He's not delightful today because he's mad because the technical issues, but hey, it happens. Our man Shane Owen, sitting right over here, y'all, right there. I am Brandon Keeler, and reminding you to peace up, A-Town down. We love you. Shane, what do you say to these beautiful people?
Hey, peace, love, and bacon grease. Catch y'all on the next.
Peace. That's right. Peace, love, and bacon grease. Remember, we will see you tomorrow for our little countdown for our Negro League Baseball, which we are excited to celebrate. It's going to be a great day. It's baseball. Y'all get ready for that. We love you. Good night. The show is done. Get out of here. Bye.